Good morning, Douglas County. My name is Jeremiah. I'm a resident of the county. I'm also a civil engineer, and I've been bringing to you information about our county, typically transportation related projects, which have a financial component. And as most of you know, we're looking at a 33% millage increase to our taxes. We don't like that. So it's time that we all start paying attention and helping our commissioners. Listen, I have no reason to think that our commissioners are corrupted, have ill intention. The fact is, I think the system, the machinery is so complex, and we're not doing our job as a citizenry. All right. So if there's any malfeasance, first we got to look into ourselves and say, hey, did I review what my county's going to do? Did I make my voice heard? Did I reach out to my commissioner or whatever the case is? Am I engaged? Am I involved? Because you, citizen, are responsible for your community too. It's your tax dollars at work, and everybody else is just doing what they're doing. I mean, the Department of all these various state and federal departments, they're just grinding out their job, right? They're allocating resources and they're identifying projects and stuff like that. Without our involvement, that stuff may not be the best. So, for example, yesterday they considered in the working session a program, a $5.5 million sidewalk program for Riverside Drive. If you don't know where Riverside Drive is, get on a map and pay it to find out where it is. It's if you go down Fairburn Road all the way to the bottom of the hill, there's a big intersection, big apartment complex being built. That's Riverside Drive. Drive out there, there's a lot of housing. And it intercepts, I believe it intercepts Thornton Road out there, and it turns into a really industrial freight logistics warehousing type of environment. All of the residents down there are new. There's a lot of them, and they're new. Okay, sidewalks is so you can sidewalks support buses. All right, this is considered a workman's housing sector. It's all new housing, and we want to do $5.5 million worth of sidewalks down there. I don't think that's a great program, guys, and I'm going to dig into that. But the main thing I want you to see here, well, I'm going to dig into that. The other main thing I want you to see is this portal, what you're seeing in front of you. This website is you got to get a hold of this thing, and this is how you get to the Board of Commissioners Agenda Citizen Portal, and you just go on to government here. Let's see, and then I open let's see, so government, and then Board of Commissioners, and then you just kind of scroll down through here, or you bookmark it. Really is the best thing. Current BOC Board of Commissioners meetings agendas. Click on that bad boy right there. Something else that's nice to see is the YouTube. All right, we're able to watch what happens. I really encourage you to watch last Monday's meeting, or maybe it was Tuesday when they had the special hearing on the taxes. Okay, so diving into this thing, Monday, which was yesterday. Now, look, you can see all the past meetings too, and all the past documents for each meeting. So what they approved, and it's all it's supposed to all be there. Now, as we go forward, as we go into the future, you'll see there's no icons over here. There's nothing uploaded. The meeting is scheduled for September 22nd work session, and then this meeting is scheduled commission meeting for 6 p.m. on September 23rd, Tuesday. But there are no documents prepared yet. So during the working session, they prepare the agenda that will then go into the next day's Board of Commissioners meeting. So that brings us to today. Okay, so today let's just take a look. Monday, August 18th. All right, we had a Board of Commissioners work session, and we'll dig into that. We have planning and zoning variance to yesterday evening. Okay, they had a meeting yesterday evening, and so for example, if you click on that, here's the agenda. So you got two things here. You got the agenda, two different items. Okay, these Juan Hernandez and Angela Hunter. And these are what they wanted. And then over here is the agenda packet. All right, so this is going to download the whole packet, everything in these items over here. Okay, and one big, that's why you see it loading here. One big PDF. All right, so this is, how many, 56 pages. Or you could just go, hey, okay, the Hernandez staff report. So Hernandez, this is the Juan Hernandez application number, and this is the staff report. Okay, this is where our planning and zoning staffers come in and go through a checklist and kind of do their own analysis and evaluation and make the recommendation. They're not always right. They're not always wrong. I mean, their check mark looks backward. But anyway, uh, that's how this works. That's how the system works. So Monday they had a board of commissioners meeting, and that was a one time. Okay, Monday they had a board of commissioners work session. Monday, August 18th, work session. All right, and then they had a planning and zoning. Now today to August 19th, they're having a one-time event, okay? And you can click on that, and this is basically a millage rate, all right? This is our chief financial officer who he's going to kind of help everybody understand why he thinks we need to pay 33% more in our taxes. I don't think we do whenever the working session brought in something like 1.7, $1.8 million worth of spending. Okay. Yesterday's work session had $1.8 million worth of spending considered on today's agenda. So that'll be voted on today. Now then, that brings us to, Tuesday, August 19th, Board of Commissioners meeting. There are no icons here. There's nothing uploaded. I don't know why. That stuff has not been uploaded yet. This stuff happens too fast. It is 6:28 a.m. Tuesday, August 19th, and I don't have the capacity to digest the $1.75 million, excuse me, the $1.78 million that my county proposes to spend. Now, I can go into the work session, all right? And I don't know what of this stuff made it into the agenda. Let's just run through this real quick. And anywhere you see dollar signs, okay, approval to accept Arthur Blank United Soccer grant for $1,300. Okay, I'm all, yeah, take the grant as long as there's no strings attached. 1-year prorated contract, Civic Plus for $6,500. Douglas County Sheriff needs $975,000, nearly $1 million in this one line item right here. Which, hey, I mean, I am not. Our sheriff's office needs to be well funded. It needs to be properly funded. That's like anything. You can spend too much, you can spend too little. You really got to get it right. Another sheriff's office. What is this agreement with Thomas Reuters Software? 40 grand. Contract renewal with cleaning services for the old courthouse. It's $1,400. Approval of 1-year renewal contract for Tara Nichols in the amount of $75,000. Approval of FEMA community rating. Let's see, it says no cost, if I remember. Yeah, no cost. Approval of county policy regarding pets facilities owned by Douglas County. Authorized chairman. I don't know what this is. So I want to dig into this, for example. And I think I heard on the news, like, hey, Douglas, the Atlanta Metro's got some problems with animals overcrowding and stuff. So here's a little, blurb on it. Sometimes this has useful information, sometimes not. Background: this policy aims to limit pets and other non-service animals within Douglas County facilities and at Douglas County sponsored events. If approved, this policy would not apply to law enforcement, Douglas County Animal Services, prosecutorial departments when trained animals are used to assist victims or when specifically permitted in writing by the Board of Commissioners. Okay. It's pet ordinance, it sounds like, county policy, pets. Okay, policy. All right. So back to the agenda here. Number 15, approval to accept memorandum of agreement with Georgia Department of Transportation, GDOT. Okay, it sounds like big time official. Ooh, we better cooperate. In connection with streetlight projects on State Route 61, Dallas Highway, Ledbetter Road, with no impact to the budget or authorization. I'm not sure what that is. It says there's no impact to the budget, but listen, it's not just the cost; it's the terms too. What are we agreeing to? I'm not sure what we're agreeing to. I'm not sure what GDOT is needing Douglas County's approval for. Needing Douglas County's, really what I want to do is I want to tell GDOT to go put a traffic signal at Lake Monroe and Fairburn Road. Okay, that's what we need. Here's what I want to hit on with you guys. 16, approval to enter into an intergovernmental lighting agreement with Georgia Department of Transportation in connection with the street lights on Chapel Hill at I-20. I oppose that. Why? Because we are going to expand I-20. We don't need to invest in any more upgrading and outfitting and trimming and that kind of thing to I-20. We need to start tearing I-20 apart. Okay, we need to start ripping down the bridge at Chapel Hill and building a new bridge there so that we can put 10 lanes, 5 in each direction, under Chapel Hill. We need a whole new on and off ramp, and we need to reconfigure the whole Chapel Hill access point because it's way too congested. So no, I don't know what this is. Let's see, 16. How much money is involved in this thing? Let's see. I don't know. Intergovernmental lighting agreement between Georgia Department of Transportation and Douglas County. Let's see, we got 7 pages, so that's a big agreement here. Attachment A, project limits, project location map. So, man, you guys have seen my map. This is so easy. Like that's it. I mean, what are we doing here? Where's the details? Entire agreement. This is an agreement, guys. This typically is not going to have a scope of work. This is going to reference a document with the scope of work in it. So I'm really not sure what the scope of work is. Let's see, sanitary policy DOAA compliance form. What is that? That goes along with this. And then work session item. Not sure what this is, guys. Not sure how much this costs. Let's see. So we have to go in and look at this number right here. Copy Chapel from Hospital Drive to Arbor Place Boulevard. Where the city has represented the department to desire to obtain roadway lighting as part of the Chapel Hill Road from Hospital Drive to Arbor Place Boulevard. I'm trying to think in my mind where that is. That's that's really all right. We got to do some digging really to figure out what's going on with that one. Honestly, I don't like it at all. Number 17, another transportation item, and this is the one I really want you to understand. This is one you got to understand. Approval to accept a project framework agreement with Georgia Department of Transportation in connection with PI. It's another GDOT project number, Riverside Parkway and Old Lower River Road sidewalk project in the amount of $600,000 with a local match of $120,000 to be funded by SPLOST 2016. Establish the budget and authorize the chairman to sign all related documents pending final legal review. All right, let's read. We've got to understand this project, okay? We have got to get this understood. $600,000 from GDOT with a local match of $120,000. Good job. We're going to put $120,000 in, and they're going to give us $600,000. Let's see. All right, go to item number 17, click on this little thing in here and go digging around, and let's see. This is the agreement. All right, and again, scope of work, description of what's going on is really hard to find. The department shall participate in the project by funding all or certain portions of the project costs for the pre-construction engineering design activities herein referred to as the PE, preliminary engineering, as specified in Exhibit A. Sponsors shall contribute to the project by funding those project costs as set out in Exhibit A. Let's go down and look at Exhibit A. Exhibit A. Come on, where are you at? What is this? Exhibit A. Okay, this is the State Transportation Improvement Program, the STIP. All right, this is it. Can you see this? You got to digest this, guys. All right, I'm going to freeze right here. Just study it. All right. This is the preliminary engineering row. All right. Federal, state funding, local funding, bonds, total. All right. So there's your 600,000. 480 federal, not even state, federal. 480 federal, 120,000 local. All right. That's our money, local. All right. So you're like, good, we got $480,000 from the federal government to match our $120,000. I'm all for agreements like that. That is not a bad agreement. But this is on Riverside Drive, guys. This is a sidewalk on Riverside Drive. All right. Now, each column is year by year. So the 2026 preliminary engineering, 2027 right-of-way acquisition. What are the costs there? Oh, $180,000. Where? Not federal, state, but local. All right. All right. Now 2028. What do we got? We got utilities. All right. How much is that? Another $120,000. By who? Local. Federal, zero. State, zero. All right. So we're at we're at $420,000 ourselves. We're at $420,000. We've not even gotten into construction in 2028. Look what we're committing to, guys. Construction, $5.1 million. Where's it coming from? Federal, state? No. You and me, the Douglas County taxpayer. Bad deal. Bad deal. Douglas County, we have money. We have a strong tax base, and we have the wherewithal to do these kinds of projects. These sidewalks need to be placed in already established and valuable communities, places that need paved, they need the roads maintained, and we need the sidewalks built to facilitate the long investment of tax dollars by the residents into their community. These sidewalks need to connect places like where I live on Beaumont and Pope Road, or maybe in neighborhoods where you live. I'm not sure where you live exactly, but if you look around and there's a vast residential of dignified housing, okay, you've been here 10, 15, 20 years paying your taxes. All right, this $5.5 million needs to go build a beautiful linear park in front of your house, connecting your community together. All right, Douglas County, I'm all out. I got to go. This is the main thing I wanted you to understand. All right, just take this in right here. You got to get this straight, guys. Show up today if you can at 10 o'clock. Let them know we don't want our taxes increased. We want some of this $1.78 million cut. All right, and then show up again at 6 o'clock to talk about this again, the taxes, but as well as this agenda. Oh, also, let me get into a couple more things. Yeah, here, approval to accept change order in the amount of $305,000. That's item 18. This is for the Lee Road widening. I've made an open records request, and I've not heard back. I need more information. We don't need to spend another $305,000 on that road. We need to be exercising liquidated damages. I think they're over schedule. That needs to be denied until we have the opportunity to evaluate the budget or the contract and the schedule and a project. Because I'm not sure if we have our elevations right. We may be putting too much material in the road, which would drive costs up. I'm not sure. So I would reject that. Approval of change order for Atlas Construction. All right, Atlas Consulting, guys. Atlas Consulting, they're out of like Duluth, and they do project management. Douglas County's got a lot of professionals. I think maybe we need to have some of our own project management. We need a new. So there needs to be a company in Douglas County doing this kind of work, man. If y'all listen and you do project management, you need to dial into item 19 over here into this letter and see what they're doing. This is $70,000 to be funded from the 2016 SPLOST for the fire station construction. 70 grand for project management. All right. Now they want another 140 grand, same outfit, Atlas Construction. For what? I'm not even sure. Approved project management department's budget. I'm not sure what this is, but if you're in project management, you may want to think about, quitting commuting to Atlanta or Duluth, and you might want to just go ahead and open shop right here in Douglasville. Hire you a few managers and some administrative staff, and support keep our local money local. You know what I mean? And do the right thing for our county. All right, guys, that's what I got. I appreciate you watching. Appreciate you staying engaged. Show up, speak out. Listen, our county commissioners, I think, are doing the absolute best and the right thing. We got to do our part, Douglas County. Thanks for watching. Stay engaged.